My friend bought a house with a finished basement that turned out to have a serious leak issue. Every heavy rain, water would seep in along one wall and puddle on the floor. The previous owner had clearly known and said nothing. A waterproofing contractor quoted him $12,000 for a full interior French drain system. Another quoted $8,000 for exterior excavation and membrane installation. Before he took either quote, I walked the basement with him and showed him a different approach. $2 of a specific liquid sealant, a few days of careful application, and some drainage fixes outside. 4 years later, his basement is bone dry through every storm. No puddles, no musty smell, no ongoing worry. Let me walk you through why basements leak, why the expensive fixes are often overkill, and the cheap approach that solves most leak problems permanently. First, let's talk about how water actually gets into basements. There are really only a few pathways. Through cracks in the foundation walls, through the seam between the foundation wall and the floor slab, through the floor slab itself, if it's cracked, through window wells that fill with water during heavy rain, through hydrostatic pressure pushing water up through the floor, or through wall cracks when the water table rises, or through surface water that's pooling against the foundation because grading or gutters are bad. Most leaks are from one or two specific sources, not the whole basement, and most of those sources can be addressed by sealing the entry points, improving drainage, and managing surface water around the house. Full waterproofing systems, which involve excavating around the house or installing drain systems inside, are appropriate for severe hydrostatic problems, but are massive overkill for typical leaks. The conventional solutions are expensive. Interior drain systems, called French drains, run $8,000 to $15,000 and involve breaking up basement floor, installing perforated pipe and sump pumps, and covering back up. Exterior waterproofing requires excavating around the foundation to install membrane systems, which can run $15,000 to $30,000. These solutions work for severe cases, but are often installed for problems that could be solved for hundreds of dollars. The $2 liquid approach uses a few different sealants depending on what you're facing. Hydraulic cement, for stopping active leaks and patching cracks, costs about $10 for a small container. Liquid waterproof sealer, like Drylock or similar masonry sealers, runs about $20 to $30 a gallon and coats entire walls. Polyurethane crack injection, for hairline cracks in foundation walls, costs about $15 per crack. Silicone or polyurethane caulk for seams, about $5 per tube. Total material cost for most basement projects under $100. Here's the approach. Step 1. Identify the leak sources. Go down to the basement during or just after a heavy rain. Look for wet spots, stains, active drips, or damp patches. Mark each one with tape or chalk. For basements with dry periods, use a hose to simulate rain. Run water against the outside foundation at suspected entry points and watch for water inside. Or wait for the next storm and observe. Step 2. Check the exterior. Walk around the house. Look at the gutters and downspouts. Are they clear? Do they discharge water at least 6 feet from the foundation? Check the ground sloping away from the house. Ideally, the ground slopes away from the foundation at 1/4 inch per foot for at least 6 feet. If the ground slopes toward the house, that's a primary water source. Check window wells. Are they filled with debris? Do they have covers? Check the foundation itself for visible cracks or damage. Step 3. Address exterior issues first. Often, fixing grading or gutter discharge eliminates most of the leak problem without any interior sealing. Extend downspouts to at least 6 feet from the foundation using plastic extensions, about $5 each. Add a splash block, $10, to direct water away. For poor grading, add topsoil against the foundation to create a slope away. Simple weekend work with a shovel and a wheelbarrow. Clear window wells. Install window well covers if none exist, about $20 per well. Step 4. Patch cracks from the inside. For active leaks through cracks, use hydraulic cement. Clean the crack, roughen the edges, wet the area, and press hydraulic cement firmly into the crack. It sets in minutes and actually stops active water flow. For hairline cracks that aren't actively leaking, but show moisture staining, use polyurethane crack injection kits, which come with 2 tubes that mix and cure inside the crack. Step 5. Apply waterproof sealer to walls. A gallon of masonry waterproofing. Sealer like Drylock is formulated to block water penetration through concrete and masonry walls. Apply with a stiff brush, working the sealer into the surface texture, and apply 2 coats for full protection. This creates a waterproof barrier on the interior surface of the wall. For walls that show general dampness or efflorescence, the white powdery mineral deposits that signal water movement. The sealer stops the water penetration through the wall surface. Step 6. Seal the floor wall seam. The joint where the foundation wall meets the floor slab is a common leak point. Apply polyurethane or silicone sealant along this seam. For active leaks at this seam, use hydraulic cement first, then caulk over. Step 7. Address the floor if needed. For floors with active leaks coming up through cracks, apply waterproof sealer to the concrete floor. For severe floor water issues, a sump pump system may be warranted, but most basements don't need this. Step 8. Add supplemental protection. A dehumidifier in the basement keeps humidity below 60%, preventing mold and making small remaining moisture issues imperceptible. A basic basement dehumidifier runs $200 and pays back in avoided mold problems. For window wells specifically, clear plastic covers keep rain and debris out while letting light through. Install covers on any window well that fills during rain. For foundation walls with bowing, cracking, or structural concerns beyond surface cracks, consult a structural engineer. Some basement issues are foundation issues, and those need proper assessment. For basements with active seeping through the wall surface even after sealing, hydrostatic pressure may be the issue. In these cases, proper French drain systems may actually be necessary, but try the cheaper options first. Additional tips for preventing future problems. Monitor gutters. Clogged gutters are the top cause of basement leaks. During heavy storms, water pours over the gutter edge and splashes against the foundation, overwhelming the ceiling. Keep gutters clean, consider guards, and check discharge points regularly. Extend downspouts further. 6 feet is the minimum. 10 feet is better if your yard allows. The farther water discharges from the foundation, the less pressure on the basement walls. Check basement humidity. Buy a cheap humidity gauge, about $10. If the basement consistently reads above 60% humidity, you have ongoing moisture. Running a dehumidifier is cheap insurance. Watch for signs of hidden problems. Musty smells are a red flag. White efflorescence on walls is a red flag. Stained or warped wood in finished spaces near the floor is a red flag. Paint that bubbles or peels from foundation walls is a red flag. Address signs early. Don't wait. A few honest notes. Interior waterproofing sealers work by blocking water penetration at the wall surface. If water is actively flowing through a significant crack, the sealer won't stop it. Seal the crack first with hydraulic cement or urethane injection, then apply the surface sealer. For homes with severe hydrostatic pressure, meaning water table rises above the basement floor during wet seasons, interior sealing alone won't solve the problem. You'll need perimeter drain systems and sump pumps, but this is not most basements. For homes built into hillsides, with basement walls fully below grade on one or more sides, waterproofing is more critical. The cheap approach still works for most cases, but the exposure is higher. For newer homes with block foundations, sometimes mortar joints between blocks leak. Address these with hydraulic cement or sealer applied specifically to the joint lines. For very old homes with fieldstone foundations, the approach is different. These foundations are made of irregular stone with mortar, and they often seep moisture in normal conditions. Sealing can help, but may not achieve full dryness. Accepting some moisture with good ventilation and dehumidification is often the pragmatic path. For basements with significant mold problems alongside leaks, address the leak first, then remediate the mold. Sealing walls with mold present can trap the mold. Remove and treat mold before sealing. The economic comparison. $50 to $100 in sealing materials, a weekend of work, versus $8,000 to $30,000 for professional waterproofing systems. For most homes, the DIY approach solves the problem. For the remaining cases where DIY isn't enough, at least you've ruled out the easy fixes first and can be confident the professional work is actually needed. One more tip. If your house is new construction and within the warranty period, report any leaks to the builder. Foundation issues are often covered. Don't do DIY repairs that might void warranty coverage. And for older homes where the foundation has had decades to settle, some cracks are normal and stable. Patching cosmetic cracks that aren't actively leaking is fine, but not always urgent. Focus on cracks that show signs of water penetration. Many people in houses with minor basement leaks have lived with musty smells and wet spots for years, assuming fixing it is a huge expense. For less than $100 in materials, most basements can be made dry and livable. A weekend of sealing, a dehumidifier running in the background, extended downspouts outside, and the problem is solved. If your basement has been damp or leaky, start with the outside first. Fix grading, extend downspouts, clean gutters. Then address visible cracks and the wall surface inside. Most problems respond to this layered approach, and if they don't, at least you've eliminated all the easy fixes before spending serious money on deeper solutions. A dry basement adds livable space to your home, prevents mold, and protects the structural integrity of the house. Worth the $2 of hydraulic cement and a few weekends of work.